Norman's Book is actually a film that had wanted to make since I was 16, all the way back in 2003.
Hi there.
Hello.
I'm April, the house sitter.
At that age, I was very inspired by Charles Cecile's Broken Sword video game, which had a deep story involving the Knights Templar. I really liked the idea of, this massive historical organisation that, was huge and seemingly invincible, and the way it just seemed to vanish overnight. That really intrigued me, and, very much it was a rise and fall story.
I seem to remember thinking it was very different and exciting to do something. It was more like a historical adventure epic type thing. And up until then, for the most part, we'd been doing action films, variations on the spy genre.
Right, hello there. The date today is the 14th of October 2005. In the context of the actual film itself, I began working on it in 2005 during my first year at Staffordshire University. I had like a whole house to myself because I transferred late, so I would spend lots of evenings kind of alone, unfortunately, but coming up with ideas and putting this story together. I actually wrote the script very quickly. It didn't take too long, and in my head I had the idea that we'd shoot it in the summer of 2006, which would have been the end of my first year, and kind of concentrate it to that summer period. The last film we'd made was Modern Cowboys, and I think that had left a sour taste in the mouth.
Modern Cowboys left us all thinking we can do better.
Because we'd put a lot of resources into it, and it hadn't quite come out as I think any of us thought it would. We thought it'd be very funny, and it turns out it just wasn't at all.
I think Norman's Book was sort of the answer to a lot of our prayers in that way. But it was quite clear right from the start that it wasn't going to be easy.
I was determined to put even more effort and even more resources into this film and make a feature film, which had always been a dream of mine.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that would be a good place to have the fire, because it wouldn't be in shot.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Are we going to? You were saying a lamp. Are we doing it with a torch though?
Torch, yeah, that would be good.
Okay. Well, what are we going to use to reflect the light off it?
We need to just basically, we can't just shine a torch. We need to just cover it with a sheet of paper or something. White out on your face where the sun is hitting. Then, if you try and make that look like it's dark, then what are you going to claim that this white out is then? If it's not sunlight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my head's just white. It's the moon.
These are my storyboards for the visual effects, which I'm hoping will help me when I get around to editing, so that I will know before I even start how the shot is going to end up looking, rather than going somewhat blind. See, this is Norman approaches Frank's shed. That's the exterior shot. There's a whole page explaining how I'm going to do that.
That's Norman.
Where's his book?
He hasn't written it yet, dude.
Tempting to get grey hair here, but
It's starting to look...
It's looking a bit better.
Yeah, it
There's a
does.
bit towel-compelled reaction.
I can't see that making the DVD.
No, that won't be.
There will be. I'll make sure it goes
Oh,
on.
there we go.
Express yourself.
has it gone?
Yeah, you look a bit like Gibbers.
Looks like snow, doesn't it?
It does.
Can you see it?
It's a scrolling thing, is it?
No.
What's that?
Oh, Christ. What have I done to deserve this? It's this, look. Press that button there, and that bar comes up.
Oh right, then you press that and then...
Then you press it like that.
It just looks like a reflection of a big square. See?
What about foil?
Foil? That's a different story. Have you got any... Do you reckon that'll work better?
So here we are today. What are we doing today?
We're doing a bit of a
Normal voices, please.
yeah.
We're doing a bit of a recce scouting location of the church we're filming in. They've allowed us access. Wasn't hard to get, but we got it.
Easy to get them.
No, it's quite hard actually. No, you can't just walk into a church to film.
So, what are we actually doing today? I mean, what's the plan?
Doing a bit of a scout, just refreshing our memory.
All right.
But still.
Stop watching me eat.
Shall we go?
Waiting for Simon to finish that ruddy crunchy.
I'm finished. It's a bit melty.
Where's that wrapper down there? Littering on the churches.
That's not the church.
The church is not.
It's just a big building. It's a big brothel. I'm sorry about that.
Church open teas. We can get a cup of tea.
Is it actually open for teas?
Yeah.
Nice. That there is the tomb.
We'll have to go. We'll go and see the exterior of the tomb.
That is a nice tomb.
You'd hope so.
It's quite tomb-like, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the tomb. So can I be the crane operator for this film? In the credits.
Yeah.
Thanks. Jib. Jib operator. Yeah.
Is that Latin?
Yes.
You should know.
Me?
You've written in the script, Latin.
Well,
You just use it translate.
tacky
You're
online
fluent.
translator. It's always bigger than I remember.
Shame. I got you walking. Yeah, it's nice. So you can smash that window
Yeah.
digitally. This whole tower is coming down.
Yeah, you see the arch there. We're leaving that up, the bit above
Yeah.
there, but basically this wall's coming in.
And the clock will be flown across the field.
Yeah, thrown across on fire into the George.
Across there, and the George will perish as well. Okay?
Yeah, remember to tell your mum about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we film it.
My mum.
His mum owns the
Sorry,
George.
mum. She doesn't own it.
The stained glass windows. Mary there.
The images on the stained glass.
Glowing.
It will be like linking it to a deeper religious path.
Yes.
Like wide shots really show the grandeur of the building.
I mean, we can. You know, we were talking about the scene when Norman and Chris are standing at the back of the church. Right here.
There we go.
It's great, isn't it?
So what are you getting now?
We're getting some background plates. It should be, yeah. Check. No, yeah, it is at the right place. We're getting some background plates for when it comes to editing. If we miss certain things or
Cutaways.
cutaway shots, and we can digitally add.
Want to get
Don't mention that word.
Sorry,
I'm going to use a lot of religious symbols.
should do. It's a very religious scene. It's very religious tide. It's religious.
Did you show the Vic of the script?
I didn't.
What is that?
Don't show it. So, David, what do you think of the location?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a church, isn't it?
Well, we've looked into this. We're pretty sure it is.
It's just us.
Can you see anything?
We're just waiting for the director to arrive. We've all arrived now.
What's that?
so-
I hear him.
Hey! Shoot the scene!
Filming the exterior of Frank's shed when Norman strolls down the snowy garden path and sees a
right.
light.
So, Frank's in this scene as well, then?
Frank is behind me. And
It's the last of the scenes outside before Frank enters the house.
Ah, brilliant.
So hopefully that will be that chapter of the film gone.
And then on my hair as well. It doesn't last long, so you need to film it quickly. You can do it from eye level. The only thing is that this light is going to be in shot and it's glaring the screen.
Just move it up a little wee bit.
A wee bit.
Action!
Yeah, I can really see that taking off, Chris. Can I call you Chris?
We ended up shooting all through that summer of 2006, including lots of scenes with Roxy Mahoney, who originally played April.
I was in a stage production of Annie and Bugsy Malone. And
The Bugsy Malone.
yes, the Bugsy Malone.
What do you think to the director?
Yeah, he knows his stuff, especially on how to hold the sound booms.
So Daniel, originally you were going to play the role Gabriel in the film Norman's Book. How do you feel about transferring characters?
Well, obviously I'm psyched to be given a more important role in the film.
Yeah, originally I was cast as Chris Ross. The whole issue of me being freely available to walk down the street and film whenever I was needed, that became an issue that I might not be able to get to and from the set so much, and I think that was probably one of the main reasons why the character was switched, because Dan North still lived just a few hundred meters down the road, and now having seen having seen how Dan's done it, I mean I can't imagine doing it myself.
Right, would someone like to plug that in for me? Thank you very much. That's right, Daniel, you tell him.
What time do they put the lights on?
3. It's more of a test flight than the actual thing.
What?
Yeah, you gotta wait, yeah. Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking about is that it is a bit hard. It's the scene. It's just going to be one of those really off scenes where it's like, oh yeah, now we need to get David in the boiler suit so we can go to my house and shoot that cellar scene.
Certainly on the first day of shooting, everyone was excited. No one really knew what was going on. We did have a time that we had to be out of the church by, and so there was a sense of excitement and pressure.
It's just to find them around the church.
How have you prepared for this role, Carl?
He turned up.
Yeah. Smart business casual. I have no idea what I'm doing at all, or who I'm playing, or what I'm doing here, really.
Are you an evil character, Carl?
Probably.
It's his typecast usually.
Yeah, I am typecast ever since that evil Dr. Fist thing.
Nothing just goes on.
Let's see you, Chris, in full.
This is Gabriel Conrad. Chris, get out of my shot. One patch of white hair.
Where?
I might have gone a little bit. It was up there. It's a little
White
bit
hair.
taken apart. I was going for a Ringo Starr white patch.
And then there's a 3/4 of an hour gap. And the bell ringers are here then, so everything will be opened up.
That'll be right then.
So Yeah, I think the service is finished about 8:45.
Well, the first shot we did, I think, was an entrance into the church, and thinking, I have to nail my character now. I have to, whatever I do, I have to follow through now. This is what my character's going to be in the film. And so I remember thinking, how would he walk? How would he end? How would he open the door? And you think, well, you just open the door like you would open the door. But it was exciting. It was exciting. There was a feeling of being part of something big. I mean, we were in a marvelous location, and it looked good on camera, and we'd seen proof of what it was going to look like through the camera, and we thought, okay, this is a step up, and I knew that before I'd even started my part in it.
Action. We could try and just film some dialogue when they're not ringing bells.
We could pause between the bells.
Because they do kind of have a long delay between.
Yeah, they could. And anyway, if they do start ringing, you can always stop it.
Just having a chat like that.
Get someone who isn't.
There was a scene which involved a fight as the fire in the church is starting to grow, and that was very uncomfortable to shoot. It felt wrong at times, it really did. It did not help at all that there was a bell ringing session.
It's bell ringing sessions tonight.
And the bell ringers were up in a room with a glass fronted wall, so they could see us completely from up on high. And I remember we filmed in very short sections, so we could go action, do a little bit of a shuffle and a struggle, and then cut straight away. So we wouldn't be having a prolonged fist fight in view of everyone.
So yeah, that's the end of the fight. I burned to death.
Really?
I mean, it's quite harsh.
Oh. Okay.
It's hot in here today.
It is quite hot, but you're doing a lot of physical exercise.
Plus, I just sweat like a pig.
Exciting, thank you for that information.
Yeah, I don't think that will be included.
No, probably not.
It will now, I've said that.
Yeah.
As things went on, it became clear that we weren't going to finish the entirety of the film. So it was kind of put on hold. And in fact, I don't think we carried on filming until January 2007. And at that point, we recast April with Chloe Jones, who was known as Chloe Skinner back then.
I never actually acted with Chloe in Norman's book. I never was on set with her, and I don't even believe our characters come into contact with each other within the story. I've known her for years. I've known her for about 10 years now, and I acted alongside her in a pantomime of Jack and the Beanstalk in 2000.
It's not quite how I remember the story, Gran. It wasn't the day before you were crying, Gran. I worried about Rick and Snake. All the trouble they've made.
And we played brother and sister. So it was quite nice to be part of a film with someone I've got that past with. Although I don't actually share any scenes with her, but it's a nice link.
That January was a very intense schedule, and we managed to do a lot and pack a lot in. But I think by the end, and I had to go back to university, there was still a third of the film left. So it was still a daunting task. I know that actually in 2007 we didn't actually get round to filming any more during that time period, which is a great disappointment. You know what, I think that is 5 scenes done.
It is 5 scenes.
Today. 5 done today. In September 2007 I actually went into my last year, and I had to do a last year project at university, and I had the ingenious idea of making Norman's book my last year project, so I kind of had no excuse not to finish it. To get my degree I had to finish Norman's book, and that was the case. We ended up finishing the filming between January and March 2008. That's when we'd done the main bulk of the filming, and it gave me enough time to complete my dissertation towards the summer, get my degree.
Degree of Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Science with honours in Film Production Technology. Edward Frizzell, Robert Fulton.
And then the autumn to winter period is when really started to knuckle down on the editing of it and the post-production.
We've progressed with our effects to the stage where it'll be a lot better than it would have been if we'd finished it within the year we started.
It was actually in early 2009 when I suddenly thought, I'm going to film 4 additional scenes, which were the Crusade scenes, which kind of go in and bookend the story.
As soon as Ed said to me about the added scenes where I would play a character in a flashback, I would play a Knights Templar, I'd play Jacques de Molay. As soon as he said that, it just clicked. Something just sort of slotted into place in my head, and I thought, we have to do this.
The scenes themselves were actually ideas that I had when I first wrote the script when I was 18, and then eventually decided to scrap because at that age it was hard to picture how we would actually film these, period sequences, which wasn't so daunting in 2009 when I think the production level had raised again and we were finding things easier, effects were easier to do, and I had jobs and things. So there was money to spend on the film, so the costume wasn't a problem. Or going to get details for a location was fine, a lot of which I'd learned in the last year of university.
I mean, it may be a lot of extra effort to go out and do these new scenes, but I thought, the film has taken its fair share of time up until now. You might as well just take a little bit longer.
I got Simon and Dave back to help that, and they helped direct some sequences where I'm in them, and I expanded them a lot from what I'd done originally, and I made it so that Norman was kind of projecting people he'd met in the story so far onto these people. So the idea is Norman's book, he was picturing people's faces in the characters, and that meant that I could reuse Dave and Simon and myself in it, and obviously Norman had cast himself as a hero again, but I would have loved to have got Daniel North back to film some sequences, but he was travelling in South America, I think, at the time, so I went to Nick Endicott, who came in and managed to film those scenes for us. I got Simon in right at the end to kind of help me have a second opinion on the film, and I think in June 2009 we actually finished completely, and it got sent off to some film festivals. I mean, it didn't go anywhere, but it was a good experience to send it off, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I mean, the film is very flawed and it's very slow in places, but I'm proud of it, and I'm proud I did it because like I said, my dream was always to make a feature film, and in making Norman's book, I definitely think I achieved that.
It's certainly been worth it, as far as I'm concerned.
I think completing it definitely sparked my creativity again, and I know Simon was much the same because he had finished 7 Days of Plague, which had taken him a couple of years to do. So we were very eager to move on to the next project, which turned out to be Gatto in that summer of 2009, which to this day I think is a good film and has some good effort in it. And I think that's a reflection of the time and effort that we put into Norman's book and Simon with 7 Days of Plague, that we could just enjoy ourselves on Gatto, and I think you can see that. And I know I turned my hand to acting on stage again, so something that I hadn't done since I'd done at school, so that was nice to return to doing that. sometimes I think, was it wise to spend all that time on Norman's book, and could I have spent it elsewhere? And I mean, we did make other films during that time. We had Santa Psychiatrist, It's Genius, but ultimately, no, I don't regret anything about Norman's book. I mean, if we're to make it today, it would be totally different. I probably wouldn't be in it. It'd probably be a completely different script, but it's okay. I'm glad it's part of my portfolio.